I'm your host, Zach Randles-Friedman, and I am bringing you the Listen Up Girl podcast. I bring you LGBTQ plus news 3 times a week. Today is Sunday, August 24th, and my first story is the Rainbow Crosswalk at the Pulse Memorial in Orlando, Florida, has been erased. State transportation crews painted over the Rainbow Crosswalk that honored the 49 victims of the 2016 Pulse nightclub tragedy. The memorial was installed in 2017 after the attack, which was at the time the deadliest mass shooting in the U.S. The removal happened late Wednesday night without notifying local officials. Orlando Mayor Butch condemned the action, calling it a cruel political act and emphasizing that the crosswalk had been approved by the state and fully complied with safety standards. The decision follows a directive from President Donald Trump's Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, who recently ordered states to eliminate non-standard road markings, specifically mentioning rainbow designs. Protesters gathered in Orlando, and one local resident, Dallas Perdue, even used chalk to temporarily restore the colors before the rain washed them away. And I saw on the news there was a lot of people protesting and going in, so hopefully the mayor, Buddy Dyer, will actually go and try to get that put back. But, let's not worry about what's happening in wars or people not having food or taking away Medicare and Medicaid. Donald Trump wants to focus on a rainbow crosswalk in Orlando, Florida. We also have Delray Beach. They defy DeSantis over Pride intersection. Just south Delray Beach, the battle over Pride Street art continues. The Florida Department of Transportation has ordered the city to remove its Pride-themed intersection by September 3rd or face penalties. City leaders, however, are refusing to back down. The Delray Beach Commission has formally decided to take issue to a state hearing on September 2nd instead of complying. The intersection, painted in colors of the rainbow, has become a point of pride for the local LGBTQ plus community. City officials argue that removing it would send a hostile message at a time when LGBTQ plus Floridians already feel targeted by state policies. The standoff is a symbolic fight over whether local communities can resist the sweeping directives of Governor DeSantis' administration. Again, Governor DeSantis is very worried about anything that threatens him, and why a rainbow crosswalk in Delray Beach would threaten him or make him feel any sort of way is just beyond me. But Sturgeon opens up about sexuality. In the UK, former Scottish First Prime Minister Nicola Sturgeon has made headlines with a new revelation in her newest memoir, Frankly Sturgeon, who was the first woman to lead the Scottish National Party, shared that she has never seen sexuality as binary and that she wouldn't rule out falling in love with a woman. Her statement surprised many, as Sturgeon has been known for her sharp political leadership but rarely spoken publicly about her personal life in such a candid way. The comment has sparked widespread discussion in Scotland and beyond her sexual fluidity, how prominent figures talking about their own identities can help reduce the stigma. Also, this was very upsetting to J.K. Rowling because she doesn't like trans people or anybody that doesn't say that they're male or female. And the fact that this person said binary, their sexuality could be binary, J.K. Rowling is very upset about this. Too bad. Lil Nas X was arrested in LA this past week. Grammy award-winning rapper Lil Nas X was arrested in downtown LA early Thursday morning, and according to reports, he was found wandering the streets near 4 a.m. wearing only white briefs and boots. Authorities say he allegedly assaulted a police officer during the incident and was taken to a hospital for evaluation before being booked. The arrest has set off waves of speculation online. Some fans worry about his well-being, suggesting possible substance issues, but others wonder if the bizarre episode could be tied to a publicity stunt for his next album. Lil Nas X has never shied away from pushing boundaries or shocking audiences, But this incident has raised more concerns than excitement from many of his followers. I saw the video of him on TikTok or Instagram, and he is walking down the middle of a street in Los Angeles, literally wearing white briefs and white boots. And somebody was filming him, and I don't think it was somebody that he was with. I think it was a fan or somebody that just started filming him on his iPhone, and he was not. He was just going about his business, singing songs and telling somebody to go to some party. So Google it and you can see the video. Next, Duolingo apologizes over J.K. Rowling lesson. The language learning app Duolingo has apologized after a German lesson included a controversial sentence referring to author J.K. Rowling as mean. In the lesson, learners were asked to respond to the phrase, "Do you like books with Harry Potter as a character?" And the correct response translated to yes, but in my opinion, the author is mean. While some users found the exercise amusing, others criticized Duolingo for injecting politics into lessons. The company quickly issued a statement clarifying that its sentence building AI generated the example and it wasn't meant as an editorial comment. Rowling has been widely criticized for her anti-trans rhetoric, and her name continues to spark heated debate across pop culture. I do Duolingo for Spanish, and there are always gay references in there. There's always things in there about, do you love Madonna as a singer? Who's the best singer? It's Madonna. And so to me, there's been other things in there that I'm like, there's definitely a gay person writing some of these lessons in Duolingo. So I say keep it. Next, we have right-wingers rage over the Cracker Barrel logo. Yes, this is a real story. Cracker Barrel, the country-style restaurant chain, announced this week that it's updating its logo as part of a brand refresh. The new design drops the classic image of a man leaning on a barrel, replacing it with a simpler, abstract barrel shape. Almost immediately, conservative commentators on social media accused the company of going woke. Some claimed the logo was part of the broader LGBTQ plus agenda to erase traditional Americana. In reality, Cracker Barrel's redesign follows broader corporate trend of simplifying logos for digital use. Still, the backlash shows how deeply cultural symbolism is being politicized. That's right, silly people. The right wing is saying Cracker Barrel is changing the logo because they are woke. Yep, they're trying to convert everybody to LGBTQ+. If you really think that, you're insane. Next, government subpoenas gender-affirming care records. In a move that has alarmed advocates and legal experts, the U.S. Department of Justice has subpoenaed the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia for extensive records related to gender-affirming care. The demand covers nearly every type of documentation since 2020, including medical notes, billing records, and even private patient communications. Critics say this represents an unprecedented abuse of power that could expose private information and intimidate providers. They warn it could chill access to life-saving care for trans youth and open the door to wider crackdowns on healthcare rights. The move highlights how gender-affirming care has become a frontline battle in the culture wars. Next, the UK ruling fuels harassment of butch women. Since the UK Supreme Court ruled against trans women's rights in women's spaces, cisgender women who don't fit the traditional gender norms are reporting harassment. Butch lesbians, women with short hair, and other women who appear masculine said they've been spat on, verbally abused, and even challenged in public bathrooms. One woman told The Guardian she now avoids women's restrooms unless she has a friend with her or resorts to using a disabled toilet instead. Activists warn that ruling has created a climate of suspicion. Women who look stereotypically feminine risk being policed by strangers. And many women are showing their breasts to other women in bathrooms when they're telling them to get out. They're like, "Do you see these breasts? I'm a woman." Isn't it sad you can't even go to the bathroom anymore and people are harassing you? Next, Portland scandals bar is going to close. In Portland, Oregon, Scandals, one of the city's most iconic LGBTQ plus bars, will close its downtown location after nearly 50 years in business. The owners announced the closure on Facebook, citing long-lasting impacts of COVID-19, rising costs, and changes to the downtown area. Scandals has been much more than just a bar. It's been a hub for Portland's LGBTQ plus community, hosting drag shows, fundraisers, and countless nights of connection. The announcement was bittersweet, though the owners are revealed plans to reopen a new location on Northeast Alberta this fall. Next, queer memory under attack in the Ukraine. Since Russia's full-scale invasion in 2022, over 500 cultural sites in the Ukraine have been damaged or destroyed. And Russia is also pushing propaganda designed to erase UK queer history and culture, framing it as part of Western culture. Despite this, Ukraine activists and artists are fighting back. Groups are documenting queer lives and preserving memory, ensuring that the LGBTQ plus identity cannot be erased, even in wartime. Their work shows resilience in the face of both bombs and misinformation. Next, the state of Illinois launches LGBTQ plus legal hotline. As you know, the 988 hotline, that is a federal suicide prevention hotline and the option for LGBTQ plus people, it was removed back in July. Illinois has become the first U.S. state to establish a free hotline specifically for LGBTQ plus residents. Run by Illinois Pride Connect, the hotline offers trained advocates who can help callers with issues like accessing gender-affirming care, fighting discrimination and housing, securing identity documents, and navigating public benefits like Medicaid. Organizers say the hotline fills a gap in access to justice and hope it can become a model for other states. For many LGBTQ plus people, especially youth and low-income residents, free legal help could be a lifeline. My last story is in Nashville. Nashville Pride faces financial crisis. One of the South's largest LGBTQ plus festivals is facing a $300,000 funding gap. Organizers say sponsors and volunteers have pulled out, leaving the future of the event in jeopardy. Pride organizers are now turning to the community for help, urging donations through SaveNashvillePride.org. Again, that is SaveNashvillePride.org. For decades, Nashville Pride has been a celebration of queer visibility in the South, and without the emergency support, this year's event could be severely scaled back or even canceled. So if you have a little bit of extra money, go to SaveNashvillePride.org and donate to try to help that. It's really important that we have Pride festivals as often as possible in this country. That is my news for Sunday, August the 24th. I will be back with more news on Tuesday. Be sure to subscribe and also be sure to listen to my other podcast where I have some fabulous interviews and guests coming up. And it's called Everything and Anything, and it's available on all of your favorite podcast platforms, including YouTube. Thanks for listening.